6. Maybe. Anyone else? 8, 6, those are the only ones? Okay. I have had times when the whole class got something and one person was the only one that was right. So you just never know. So don't be afraid to give your solution. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this down. We have so many things happening here. The first thing I want to deal with, though, is this is grouping, and then you have grouping inside the grouping. So I'm going to simplify this first. So this is going to be 3 to the third over 3 to the second. Okay. Now I'm going to simplify my exponents. Remember, when you have this fraction bar here, you can simplify everything on the top, everything on the bottom, and you can do it simultaneously because they don't affect each other. So 3 to the third power is 27. 3 to the second power is 9. Then this simplifies to 3. And then 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. No, this is an exponent. And okay, so I actually did not even know that Evan was right because I hadn't done this yet. But I even shared that story about how sometimes one person is right and the rest of the class is wrong. So kudos to you, Evan, for sharing your answer and being right. This is an exponent, okay? So and so then it would be to the third. Did it look like it was multiplication? Is that why you guys did that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Here's the homework. So start checking your answers. I'll move it up in a minute. Just a reminder, number 5 didn't have an expression there, so you guys can just skip that one, number 5. So check it out. You should have all your homework done on a piece of paper, so that you can easily check your answers, you can refer back to it. You guys find all my mistakes because you're my first period class. So this should be 3.2. Thank you for letting me know. Let me know if I've made any other mistakes too. Is it okay if I move up a little bit? Not yet? Okay, let me know when you're ready, Dakota. Is everyone done checking number 1? Yeah, okay, so let me just scoot up so you can see number 6 then. There you go. And then the rest is on the back, so I'll just wait for everyone to finish up with this. Let me know if I've made any more mistakes. Yeah, Shana. Second one down? Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think I was adding instead of multiplying. Okay. I was doing this while I was substituting in another teacher's class. So. Lots of mistakes today. Awesome. Thank you so much for catching my mistakes, you guys. I'm going to fix this too. Make it look a little nicer. Okay. Any other mistakes that you guys can see? I'm just going to move it up a little bit and start showing you the next page. Okay, so you had to do a lot of scratch work on those ones. Yes, ma'am? We skipped it because there was no expression. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move it up just a little bit more, okay? Okay, once you're done checking your homework, go ahead and take a piece of paper out because we're going to start talking about distributing the distributive property with expressions. Any more questions on this before I take it away? Okay, let's do some turkey colors today. You guys, I should have taken a picture of it. My son, for his 4th grade class, had to do like a turkey pageant. And my son is really into Lego robotics, so he has all kinds of Lego robotics materials. And he made a robotic turkey that gobbles and moves and turns its head, and it's so awesome. Like, I can't wait to hear what his classmates thought about it today, because it's like, my daughter is in 6th grade now, and she had that same project, and she made a cute little turkey that had like a moving part on it out of pumpkins, but man, I feel like his is just like amazing. Yeah, so the Lego robotics stuff that he has, like, you can code it. So he added code so that it can do all kinds of actions and stuff.
Is it also a remote control?
He controls it from like an iPad or like a phone. So he took an iPad with him today to school so he could control the turkey. Okay, so today's learning target, I never even showed you guys the agenda. We'll do that at some point. It's not very exciting, it's just what we're doing. So we're going to use the distributive property to rewrite expressions in the equivalent form. Okay, so I can use the distributive property to rewrite each expression in the equivalent form. All right, so let me grab my notes. Oops, my binder's upside down. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. I'll also show you how to do it using a model, but I don't necessarily think you guys need to use the model. So, well, actually, first of all, let's talk about the distributive property. Let me see if I have a good definition for that. Maybe, maybe not. No, not a good definition for that, which bothers me. Okay, maybe we'll add that to your notes later. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at an example. I know you guys have seen the distributive property before. You probably have been doing this for a couple years now, but we're going to be applying it to algebraic expressions. Okay, so what you may have seen before was you may have seen 6 times 2 plus 9, and you know that you can distribute this to each term and it will still be true. So I can multiply the 6 by the 2, and I could multiply the 6 by the 9, right? Do you guys remember this from 6th grade? Yes. Okay, so this would be 12 plus 54, and then you can simplify it further if you wanted to 66. And just to show you, if we did the order of operations and we combined these first, this would be 11, right? Which is also 66. So the distributive property definitely works, but now we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to look at how to use the distributive property to rewrite expressions. So what we're going to do is just like we did here. We're going to pretend like this variable is just a number. Because when you distribute, you're going to multiply each term inside the parentheses times this coefficient out here. So 6 times x. Well, we don't know what x is, so we just have to leave it as 6 times x. And then we will do 6 times 9, which is 54. Okay, so basically we're just multiplying each thing inside the parentheses times this number on the outside of the parentheses. Okay. Now I want to show you that it also works with denominators, and because remember how we talked about fraction bars being grouping? So if you have x plus 15 over 5, okay, you can basically distribute this to each thing. So what we're doing is we're going to do x divided by 5. We're going to distribute to the x, and we're going to distribute to the 15. So this will be 15 divided by 5. Okay. So I know that's totally different than anything you've ever seen. But even with a fraction bar, because remember we consider this grouping, we can distribute the denominator to both numbers. So it'll be x over 5 and 15 over 5. And if you can simplify it further, you should. So we can do x over 5, and then 15 over 5 is 3. Okay. Okay, so let's, I'm going to have you guys try it out a little bit. And then we'll get to some more complex ones. Okay, so try that out. because we do not know what these variables are equal to, like what number goes in for our variables. And so we're just going to reduce it as much as we can and leave it, okay? We can't reduce this any further. We don't know what x is, so this is what we're left with, okay? Same thing here. This can't be reduced any further, and since we don't know what x is, we have to leave it. Yeah, let me get you a note.
And then do I have to go to the 7th grade wing or?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, absolutely. But just make sure you do 2 times 1. Oh, yeah, good. How you guys doing? Does anyone want to share what they got for this first one? What'd you get, Shauna? -8 minus 2. Okay, and what'd you get, Dakota? So you did -8a plus a -2. Okay, and what'd you get, Evan?
I got -2 parentheses 4a parentheses plus 2. Or, yeah, it is 2 times 1 equals 2.
Okay. And Brooke, what'd you get? 8a plus 3? 2. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're multiplying this by this term and this term. Okay. So -2 times 4a. Well, when you have this coefficient in front of the variable here, you just multiply the numbers together. So this is going to be -2 times 4 is -8. And then we have our a. We don't know what a is, so we have to leave it there. Okay, but we do know that -2 times 4 is -8. And then plus, and then -2 times 1 is -2. Now, I heard somebody say that almost exactly the same, but they said -2 instead of plus a -2. These are equivalent. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like having two signs there. I like to simplify it and just have it be one sign. Okay, so either of these two answers would be correct. All right. Okay, what about number 2? Shauna, what did you get? 11 minus 2x. Anybody get anything different? Okay, well, we're going to distribute this here, so 22 over 2. And then we'll distribute it here, so this is going to be 4x over 2. And then we can simplify, and yeah, I would agree with Shauna. This is going to be 11 minus 2x. Okay. All right, let's get a little more complex with these. Let's take a look at what happens when you've got more than one variable in a problem, okay?